Let me greet my YouTube family. Hello, guys. We are back for day 7 out of 10 of the 10-day hair growth challenge. If you've been here from the start, then I want to hear from you. I don't know why I'm hearing myself. I want to hear from you. Day 1. So I'm just going to turn it down then. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. You've got Florence from Nigeria, Carmen from Yorkshire, Fatima from Sudan, Yuda from Eritrea. Okay. My YouTube people, let me know if you can hear me because I'm getting some feedback. So I just want to make sure that you guys are good so that we can proceed. But this is going to be day 7 out of 10. Okay. NJ says, hear me. Thank you so much. This is going to be all about the ultimate hair growth routine. I'm going to be covering things like wash day, how to style your hair, nighttime routine. I'm going to go through also how to take down a protective style safely. And I'm going to go through trim routines. Oh, okay. You should hear me. Great. We've got Black Super Queen again. I noticed your username. All the way from Washington, DC. Okay. So if there's anything you remember from this live, that wash day, or I like to say hour, but we'll just call it wash day because that's what most people call it, is the single most important day of your routine. If you do not have time to do it, don't do it. Because that's the point in which so many people suffer extreme breakage and damage. Okay. We're going to go into detail as to what the ideal wash day looks like and how to maximize your injuries. Wash day differs depending on your porosity. If you don't know your porosity, I highly recommend you catch day, I think it's probably day 3, where we spend all about porosity. So if you have no clue what porosity is, you don't know what yours is, go and watch that video. But for those who are low porosity, I recommend that you just work with a pre-poo. The pre-poo that I love to do is Botanical. And I know I talk about this awfully too much, but it's because I'm obsessed. And I know who's used this is also obsessed. If you've ever used a Tangle Slayer, I need to see you, okay? Because you also understand where I'm coming with this. It's gonna make your hair feel like so. Oh, before I actually go up into this, is because I want to do a quick stock update. So if you haven't been watching my stories, if you haven't, I'm gonna catch up right now. Things are crazy. I've obviously had to be in and out the warehouse, like doing all kinds of crazy stuff, just to make sure that all the orders that have been placed are going to be fulfilled. Because we had, I mean, it's a great thing because you guys are ordering from us, but when you're searching for the stock, it's a bit of a nightmare. But we obviously still have emergency stock, which is great. But I will say is that we may have to close shop this weekend, okay? Purely because of the level of demand. If you have not placed an order yet and you want to benefit from this 25% off sale, it's now or never, okay? Because I cannot promise if we're going to be open for the rest of the weekend. I'm just going to let you know well in advance. It's Thursday now, so that's like 2 days.
Most have ordered, be patient, it may not come up.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and those that have ordered, please do bear with us. We were not expecting this level of demand, if I'm honest with you, so I'm very grateful for the love you show. Please be patient with us. You know, it's the biggest sell of the year, and I know that when you get your products, you're gonna love them. So please be patient with us, okay? And yeah, so if you haven't already placed, go ahead and go to mineralnaturals.com and use the code REVO25. That's REVO25. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, but you can rest assured that when you shop with us, we're so confident that you're gonna love our products, that we offer a 90-day money back guarantee, no questions asked. We're not gonna ask you why you don't like it. We'll just give you money back because we know you're gonna love it, right? So you can rest assured that when you shop with us, your money's with us. You know, we take care of our customers. We treat you as family because we are a family at Mineral Naturals. So that's that stock update. So yes, my wash day routine. Low porosity, you want to start with a pre-poo. For high porosity, you want to start with an oil pre-poo because if you are high porosity, your hair is a lot more fragile and prone to damage. And what you want to do is kind of put on a protective layer of oil. Because what that's going to do is going to protect your cuticles. Because if you don't know already, high porosity hair has cuticles that are very high, highly raised and easily broken. So that oil, when you put it on, it's going to help you seal the cuticle, make it smoother, and prevent too much excess water absorption by the hair strand, which will cause it to swell and break. So that oil is going to be perfect for high porosity girls. So I'll recap. If you're high porosity, do a pre-poo with oil. I mean, soak your hair with oil, make sure it's saturated, and then go in with the tangle sprayer. But if you're low porosity, I would say skip to tangle sprayer. Okay? Have you got that? Can I get some thumbs in the chat if you got that? Because I'm going to move and I want to make sure everyone understands. Pre-poo with oil, high porosity, tangle slayer, low porosity. Okay, I'm getting some thumbs up on YouTube. We have people listening. Okay, great. Then the next step is actually very, very important because a lot of people are actually afraid of shampoo. Okay, but we need to shampoo our hair to maintain more. You need to shampoo because if you don't, your hair, especially if you're low porosity, you can get built up. And what that means is that your hair is so covered by product that no more moisture can actually enter the strand. And when that happens, the hair can become very dry, brittle, and break off. So we need to make sure we shampoo. This shampoo I love because it's not your regular shampoo. It has absolutely no sulfates. And if you don't know already, sulfates quite literally kill hair follicles. Um, so there's that. And also it's got a nice gentle base. Pastyle soap. It's very moisturizing. It's not going to strip your hair. It's going to moisturize your hair, but still cleanse it. Not only that, it's got amazing herbs in it that help to strengthen your hair, and also essential oils. If you're using Pro Plus, using Pro Plus, you have some essential oils, and that helps you stimulate hair growth. An alternative to this shampoo is the Root Revive. And people ask me, what's the difference? So with the Root Revive Pro Plus, I say that this is more so for people who have um, hair loss, alopecia, they want to speed up hair growth. It's got essential oil, so this is punchy, okay? It's not for the faint-hearted. Someone asked what size is this? So this is 1 liter, and this is 300 milliliters. Yeah. So Root Revive Pro Plus for those who may suffer from alopecia. So if you have a really tight hair and it's literally ripped your hair off, or if you hairline started to recede, then this is a shampoo for you. But for someone who doesn't have extreme hair loss or anything like that, Root Revive is perfect. So you then are we good with shampoo? Are we good with shampoo? Can I get some thumbs up? Shampoo. We understand. We're gonna pre-poo with oil for porosity. Then we're gonna go in the tangle slayer. Then we're gonna shampoo. You're gonna want to shampoo at least twice. An extra point is that you want to make sure before you're even using any product to change your water. You need to be using soft water. You need to get rid of those harsh chemicals that come through your tap. Make you can either get a water softener for the entirety of your house, which is what I have. They are pretty expensive, but it's very good because especially if you live like I live in a very hard water area, it's very tough on us, very tough on our hair, and it doesn't allow the products to work as good. So make sure you get yourself a water softener if you can. You can get water softener just for your shower head if you don't want to, spend an arm and a leg the whole house. I would definitely recommend using a shower head for water filter. There's that. So I'll go through it again just to recap. With oil, high porosity. Then you want to go in with the tangle slayer to detangle. Detangle. I'm going to go through detangling in more detail, but I want to just run through this. You then want to shampoo. If you have alopecia, you use the Pro Plus version. If you don't have alopecia, you can use Root. Then we're going to go to my favorite thing, which is deep conditioning. Okay. So, someone asked what's the best shower filter. So I use Harvey water softener in my house, but there are shower filters you can buy from like K-L-E-A-N, K-L-E-A-N. So yes, to deep condition. If you have high porosity hair, you want to be using this herbal silk strength provide. If you have low porosity hair, you want to use this moisture conditioner. Okay. The benefits of these two and why I recommend them, is that this one is packed with silk amino acids, which helps to strengthen the hair shaft, especially for high porosity girls and guys. Herbs also to strengthen your hair and to provide nourishment. The deep conditioner is great for low because it has so many moisturizing ingredients. This, a lot of people actually ask me, is this still moisturizing? Protein in it? Yeah, it is still so very moisturizing. To be honest, if you are high porosity, this you can actually go ahead and use this every wash day. But if you're low porosity, you want to alternate. This deep conditioner is packed with moisturizing ingredients like glycerin, honey. Those two are humectants. Um, Humectants also pull moisture from the air into your hair. So that's what you need if you have like low porosity hair. And I'm gonna double down in that if you're using this, especially now that it's getting a lot colder, I would recommend that you use a heat or a steam pack because that's what that's gonna do is open up your cuticles, okay? And it's gonna allow the product to penetrate so much. If you're someone who has very dry, very brittle hair that is easily broken, especially during winter, then you want to make sure you're using this with a deep conditioning cap. You can find one on Amazon, and you can attach it to like a regular blow dryer. But trust me, it's going to take your deep conditioning to the next level. Okay. So as I said before, the deep condition, you want to use Moisture Miracle, deep conditioning for low porosity. And then you want to use Health Silk Strength Revival Mask. So are we good with deep conditioning? Okay. Low porosity, high porosity. Can I see some thumbs up in the chat? I need to see some thumbs up so I can move to the next step. Are we good? Are we good? Okay, lovely. I'm seeing thumbs up. Thank you, guys. The last step in the wash day process, once you've rinsed out your deep conditioner, is to seal that goodness with a leave-in oil. And this is because it's gonna give you literally 2 weeks worth of moisture. The method I'm giving you helps you to maintain so much moisture that you're gonna think, "Wait, where have I been all my life?" If you didn't think that natural hair could be moisturized, if you didn't think that natural hair could be moisturized, this combo is heaven sent. As I said before, this Moisture Miracle leave-in is very similar in properties with the deep conditioner. Got great moisturizing ingredients, and it's just gonna make your hair feel like butter. If you want low porosity, you wanna put this on whilst you are in the shower, okay? That's another tip for low porosity. Put this on whilst you're in the shower. You're leaving whilst you're in the shower, again, because that's the environment in which you're in, where it's very steamy, okay? And your cuticles are open, so it's the best time to apply that leave-in and oil. Boom. When you put this in your hair, and you put in some braids and twists, I'm gonna get to after, 2 weeks worth of moisture. No looking back. Once you use this combo, you're locked in. So go ahead and let me know by giving me thumbs up. I'll be good with leave-in and oil, so we can close that wash day. I'm gonna do a recap, but just so I know I can skip this step. Yep, leave-in and oil. Are we good? Okay, we've got some thumbs up. So I'm gonna do a full recap, okay? Bear with me. I'm gonna run through it. If you are high porosity, pre-poo with oil. It's gonna save breakage during washing. If you're low porosity, skip the next step. Detangle. I'm gonna talk through again detangling. Okay. We're then gonna shampoo. Shampoo. If you have alopecia, use the Pro Plus version. If you don't, Revive is perfect for you. Then you wanna go in with your deep conditioners, okay? Go in with the deep conditioner, a Moisture Miracle if you have low porosity, and if you have high porosity, then it's Herbal Silk Strength. Make sure you use a deep conditioning cap, a heat cap, and this. And then you wanna lock back in with this leave-in and oil. Leave-in and oil, okay? If you have low porosity hair, do this whilst you're in the shower. Okay, so are we good with wash day before I go to um, how to style your hair for length retention, just getting those inches? Are we good? Okay, I'm getting some thumbs up. Give me some thumbs up. Let me know. Let me know. Okay, great. I'm getting thumbs up. Carol, you're always first. I love that. So great, great. So the next step in the whole process of just looking after your hair, making sure you maintain inches, is to put your hair in a protective or a stretched out. And I'm gonna talk about this until Jesus comes because it's so important. A lot of people may do a great wash day, and then all they'll do is they'll just leave their hair in its natural state, and then it will just shrink up. How many people, once they've washed their hair, put it in braids? If you put your hair in braids or twists, I want to see thumbs in the chat. If you don't, I see thumbs down. If you don't put your hair in braids or twists, put your thumb down. If you put it in braids or twists after wash day, put your thumbs up. I want to see how many people are actually doing that. Okay, we have some good people on YouTube. If you put your hair in braids or twists, put it up. If you don't, put it down. Okay, okay. We have Daryl says no. Someone says sometimes. Okay, Rama says no. Okay, so if you're someone who does not put their hair in braids or twists, like once you put leave-in and oil combo, put your hair in braids or twists. That's going to help absorb things a lot better, and it's also going to protecting or a stretch hairstyle. The reason I recommend everyone to do stretch hairstyle, you want to avoid the enemy of natural hair, tangles. The moment in which you wash your hair and you just let it air dry like that, whether it's a wash and go, a puff, whatever it is, and you don't put it in braids or twists, it's going to shrink all the way up. And when it shrinks, our hair is so coily and it's going to cause tangles. It's going to do tangulation. Okay, your hair is going to tangle. When it tangles, it knots. When it knots, it's going to break. So we want to minimize that as much as possible, especially if you are 4C. I'm someone who's 4A, 4B, but I still, make sure that I don't allow my hair to shrink up because I know what it does. Because if you allow your hair to shrink up, when you try to detangle that after, it's just going to cause so much breaking, more than necessary. What we're trying to do is to waist length as quickly as possible. We want you to gain inches as quickly as possible. So I'm trying to give you guys the true shortcut as to how to do that without having to spend years and years, trying to figure it out. Just make it simple for yourself. Hair in braids, twists. So someone said on YouTube, is it me or is the sound cutting out? YouTube, I'll be good with sound. Let me know. So put your hair in braids or twists. Alternatively, you can blow it out. So someone said it's cutting out for me too. Hello. Oh, it's cutting out on YouTube. Sound is choppy. Maybe if I go closer, if you don't mind my face, get a little close and personal. If you don't mind my face, I can see the green dot. So make sure you have braids, twists, or a blowout after wash day because it's going to minimize tangles. It's going to minimize the breakage. It's going to minimize the stress that people associate with natural hair. So make lives easier and just put it in braids, twists, or blowout. All these stretch styles, okay, you want to leave in your hair for a minimum of 3 days. And the way in which I like to do it is I'll put maybe 20 braids, and then I'll leave a few pieces of hair out just so I can kind of frame my face and I still look presentable. Like you can put it to work, you can still do your Zoom meetings and still look somewhat presentable. If you just have 2 pieces of hair out, 2 sections out, and then put your hair in 6 braids. Someone asked, what other platform is she using so I can watch it? Anyone know? I'm on Instagram. If you're wondering on YouTube, I'm on Instagram and I'm also on TikTok. My Instagram is at Janet I Davies. Let me put it down. So, okay, I think YouTube sound is playing up, but I'm going to try my best to continue. I'm sorry, YouTube family. Okay, but yes. So put your hair in stretch style. So protective style can be things like box braids, twists, anything. I'm going to go into that. You need to do it carefully. Okay? That's what but I'm going to run through all of that with you. So once we've done that, once you put your hair in braids or twists, or you've blown it out, put your hair in braids for at least 3 days. That's gonna allow your hair to fully dry and to fully form that braid twist style. Because when your hair dries in that kind of manner, it's gonna be a lot more uniform and a lot easier for your hair to be manageable, if that makes sense. Your hair's gonna be a lot more manageable because it's dried in a more uniform state versus drying in all different directions. Okay? Okay? So make sure after your wash day, you do a stretch or protective style. Put your hair in braids, put your hair in twists, or blow it out and then put it in braids, okay? After those 3 days, you're gonna wanna then release the braids, release the twist. I so my typical routine is to wash every 2 weeks, and I will try to release my hair, like, over the weekend. Like, if I wanna go out, I wanna look nice, whatever, I will put them I will remove them, and that's a style. And if you have done, like, a braid twist out from wet hair, you can then just add a little bit of oil, maybe, like, every 3-ish days, add a little bit of oil. You can spritz a little bit of water, put a little bit of oil, and then maybe put in some Bantu knots. And then when you go to bed, and then put on your headscarf. Just put a headscarf on, put your hair in a bun, go to bed, and put a little bit of oil every 3 days. Someone who has alopecia, then you're gonna wanna use some follicle fuel Pro Plus because it's great for combating a lot of issues, when it comes to hair loss. Things like, excess DHT. It's got DHT blockers, things like amla, pumpkin seed oil, rosemary oil, um, so many great ingredients. Okay, Follicle Fuel Pro Plus. Follicle Fuel Pro Plus. So if you've done a blowout, okay, and you've blown out your hair, you put it in braids or twists, and then you've waited 3 days, you've released it, great. Every time you release it, as much as I love blowouts, I have to caveat with saying, you need to make sure that you are able to maintain that blowout, okay? You don't want that blowout to go dry, especially in the winter months, okay? So what you wanna do, if you've blown out your hair, to maintain that, is to rinse your hands with water, apply that to your hair, and then a little bit of oil, and then put your hair in some braids or twists, and you wanna do that at least every 3 days. Every 3 days, okay? If you're doing braids or twists from wet hair, then all you need to do to maintain that is apply a little bit of oil every 3 days, you're good to go. If you've done a blowout, you wanna spritz a little bit of water onto your hands, and then put that through your hair, and then apply some oil, and then put your hair back in those braids or twists every 3 or 4-ish days. So there's that. So, I think I've already covered nighttime routine. I've covered, basic stuff with alopecia, follicle fuel plus. So the other routine I really wanna cover is the protective style takedown routine, which is also another if you've not been paying attention, pay attention now because it's so important. If you're someone who's done a protective style, okay, and you're trying to take it down, the point in which your natural hair meets added hair, that point of demarcation is very sensitive. There could be a lot of buildup, a lot of lint, whether it's product, whatever it is, there's a lot of buildup there. So you wanna make sure that you're so incredibly gentle when you remove that buildup. What you're gonna wanna do is apply some oil to your fingers and to that point of demarcation. I find that wherever people tend to rub the most, that's where there's gonna be the most buildup. So it tends to be like kind of like at the back, depending on where you see it could be on the side, typically here or here, there's a lot of buildup through just like things like cotton, fiber, all that stuff. It gets accumulated in that place of demarcation. You're gonna wanna use some oil to gently break it down. Use your fingers. Never, ever, 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 when you're taking down a protective style, use a comb to comb through that. Ever. I don't wanna see I've already banned combs, okay? I've banned combs from everyone who's watched my life for at least 6 months until we see inches, okay? So throw those combs away. Use your fingers to gently detangle each and every section. Some sections won't need as much, removal of lint breakup, but some will, especially the areas in which we rub. We may sleep on our back, we may lay on couches, we may sleep like this. and there's gonna be a lot of buildup. So use oil, gently finger detangle, remove the buildup. Using oil like this is gonna help slowly melt away all that buildup, and you're just gonna be gentle. Take your time. And once you're done with that, you can then go in with your normal wash day routine, which I described. Okay? So that is so important. If you're taking out protective styles, you need to be so careful as to how you take them down because you don't want to waste your time in doing a protective style for like 6 weeks and then going get it home, running it through, and then all that breakage that occurs. The protective style was completely pointless then, right? So let's save inches. Let's make sure we take down our protective styles gently with oil. This is such a necessity. You don't even want to take it down with water. That can cause because there's a lot of buildup, you can cause it to dread and like puff up. Use oil, it's really gonna help. Okay. And protective styles in general, I'm begging you, and all my virtual needs, please be a stylist, okay? The thing is, I think we as consumers of stylists need to make our needs first known, and then that's also gonna help the industry because right now, a lot of stylists don't know how to take care of natural hair. And I'm not pointing out, pointing fingers. I think it's just the way in which society has grown, natural hair is not really understood. That's fine. But if we as consumers start to refuse poor hair care, then that's gonna help change the industry. So we need to be on our stylists. We need to say, okay, as much as I love the style, I still want my edges. So please do not braid too tight. Please. We need to be advocates for ourselves. We need to ensure that they're just not going to cause damage because if we don't speak up, they're not going to know. So we have to be honest with ourselves. Whoever we're going to, whether you need to change stylists, you just need to advocate for yourself. Let them know that you just don't want this style too tight. You're just really trying to grow your edges for once. Okay, so make sure your styles are not too tight. Make sure that whenever you're doing things like box braids, any one section is not too small for a lot of added hair. Okay, you never want to get sections that are so small like this, and then you get a lot of added hair holding on to that one section. And that one section is literally holding on my thread. It's just gonna fall out. Okay. And over time, that's what causes a lot of severe traction and alopecia. Okay. Yeah, Instaboom says that is so true. When I used to get braids, I always used to go back and forth with the stylist. I'm not using scissors to cut the hair, sticking out on the braid, shake my head. Yeah, we just have to advocate for ourselves, okay? And then the last thing I'm gonna run through very quickly, I'm conscious of time, is trimming. So if you're someone who is in your hair a lot, so I'm talking you manipulate your hair multiple times a week, your wash days maybe weekly, you wanna be trimmed at least every 3 to 4 months. Because the more you manipulate your hair, the more likely you're gonna cause damage, okay? If you're someone like me who's a lazy natural, I wash my hair every 2 weeks, okay? I can get away with going with a trim for every 6 months, okay? So there's that. So make sure you're trimming your ends because the more you trim your ends, okay, not excessively, but the more you are on top of your trim, you're gonna prevent your ends from being broken. And what that does is it kind of helps with the overall health of your hair. Because if you think of a split end, for example, if this is a strand of hair and then the end is kind of partially split like that, all that's gonna happen is that it's gonna completely split all the way and the strand of hair is gonna break off. But if your hair is kind of split here and then you just cut off this portion, this hair is saved. Yeah? That's that. So I've been talking for a very long time. I'm conscious that everyone has a lot of questions. So let's go ahead and start these questions.
First question.
Yes.
Can the Tangle Slayer stay as a leave-in?
Someone asked, can the Tangle Slayer stay as a leave-in? The short answer is yes, because this on its own is still very moisturizing. The main difference between the Tangle Slayer and the leave-in is that the leave-in has a lot more moisturizing ingredients and oils to help to seal in more moisture. So it could, because our products are so good, you technically, if you want to see even more moisture, then the Moisture Miracle leave-in is that girl, okay? This is for you. So yeah, the Tangle Slay is very moisturizing. And for you to ask whether it can be used as a leave-in, you've probably noticed that it's probably very moisturizing. That's exactly why, because we want all of our products, no matter if it's just used to tangle, to moisturize our hair and strengthen it. So there's that.
A few questions about porosity. So she washes her low porosity hair in twists.
Yes.
She still need to do a pre-prep.
Someone asked, they wash the low porosity hair in twists. Does she still need to do a pre-poo? So for low porosity people, like myself, if you're washing your hair with twists, I would recommend that you pre-poo with the tangle sprayer and then put your hair in twists. Does that make sense? You can definitely still wash your hair with twists. And I would recommend as well. Okay, but you must make sure you're detangling with this super tangle slayer like this one, then putting your hair into it. If that makes sense. It doesn't stop you from washing your hair with twist. It just helps you prepare your hair for the washing process, and it will out. So then, the reason why I definitely started to pre-poo with the tangle slayer today is because I noticed that once I start off detangling away that stuff, my wash is smoother, and I'm then not over manipulating my hair in the shower. Then going in, trying to tangle my hair 3 or 4 times. I do it once, and then I'm done. Okay, so I hope that makes sense.
What's your take on satin versus silk?
Okay, so satin versus silk, that is the big question. So satin and silk are actually very similar in their properties. However, silk is the much more natural version, if that makes sense. So in life, there's always gonna be like a synthetic version and like a natural real version. So silk is made from silkworms ultimately, and it's a very natural fiber that is very gentle to our skin. It's very similar in the chemical structure is very similar to our skin. Whereas satin, the the roots of that is it comes from plastic ultimately. So the difference is that silk is a very more natural version, doesn't have any strange chemicals or additives. It's just silk. And then satin can be made from very strange fibers like polyester. These are synthetic fibers that are not very good for us in the long run. But silk is, especially if you have eczema skin, and things like that. So yeah, that's the difference between silk and satin. And if you don't know already, we do actually stock or the door is shut, but we stock silk hair ties, which are very strong, by the way. My hair is thick, and this bad boy doesn't move.
The pillow.
The pillowcase is outside, but you shut the door. Maybe you can help me open it. I'll show you our pillowcase too. But these these silk hair ties are so good. Put one in my hair now as well. Hopefully you can see. They're so good. We use 100% pure 22 mulberry silk, so it's literally the highest quality. We also have silk, just open again. Silk pillowcases. This is what we sleep on every single day. Okay, look at that. Look at that shine. Beautiful. So that's what we stock at Mineral Naturals. Silk scrunchies and silk pillowcases because we want to make sure that we are in part of every part of your routine as much as we can be to help you. So silk is where it's at. And you really want to especially use silk scrunchies because it's going to prevent all that damage from regular hair ties. Because regular hair ties literally wrap around your hair, cause breakage, all that stuff. And also, if you didn't know about cotton is a good fabric, don't get me wrong. When it comes to what you sleep on, it's very important. We're going to spend about 26 years of our lives asleep. So you need to invest in what you're sleeping on because cotton, what it does is it absorbs product. So once you've done your nighttime routine and you kind of put your face cream on, your serums, all that good stuff, what that does to your cotton pillowcase is your pillowcase absorbs all that and then it kind of like goes back on your face. It's kind of like it gives you rotten product. I don't know how to explain it, but it absorbs product from your face and it kind of just sits there and then you just kind of like rub all over it. Whereas silk does not do that. It's very good, especially if you have acne prone skin. It's very gentle and it's great for sensitive skin. So this is what literally our whole family sleeps on. I love that. I'm really sorry about the sound on YouTube, guys.
Drop your skincare to sis. You're good.
Someone's actually dropped my skincare. The funny thing is, I'm actually breaking out. I think because of the stress of this 10-day of hair growth challenge, but that's fine. But my skincare routine, and I'll go ahead and tell you guys. First of all, I eat
You drop the product.
The products, yeah, I should drop it. Well, who knows? I can do my own line because the products I use are great. I can always recreate them, right? And make them better. So I eat very well. Green vegetables, high protein, high fiber diet. I drink a lot of water, especially coconut water because it's got added electrolytes, natural fats, and natural sugars. The other thing is I cleanse my skin twice a day, morning and night. And I use a CeraVe salicylic acid cleanser. At night, I have like a little silicone exfoliating brush I use every single night. And then I go in with my glycolic acid. I think it's by The Ordinary every single night. I think that glycolic acid is chef's kiss. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Glycolic acid, it just helps your skin glow and it has a very youthful appearance. And then I also go with my Derma E vitamin C. Um, I think it's just a night cream or it's a regular cream. And in the morning, I just use the day version of that. So that's it. So any other hair related questions, please? And I hope you can see me on YouTube.
Yes, Amanda says she's high porosity.
Yes.
She's doing a twist, right?
Yes.
And she got her order yesterday.
Oh, amazing. So hopefully you guys can hear Shola, by the way, but is that Amanda you said?
Yes,
Amanda has got her order. She's high porosity twist tonight. So I'm excited for you, girl. I hope you're twisting right now, honestly. So let your hair sit in those twists for at least 3 days. You can have a few pieces of hair out just to frame your face and just rock it like that. If you like, put a little headband or a headscarf, put your twist up in a bun and just move. Yeah, I love that. Next question, please.
So a few questions about going out, yeah?
Yes.
How do you minimize breakage of blood?
Okay. The way in which I minimize breakage whilst blowing my hair out is that I use a good tool or method. So if you have budget for the Rev Air, I definitely think it's worth the investment. I do actually have, someone asked if I'm saving this slide. Yes, I am. I do have, what do you call it? A code for Rev Air. I believe it's Janet or Janet Davies. It's under my YouTube, my regular YouTube video. You can see a code for the Rev Air. That's great, but there are alternatives. I know the Rev Air can be out of budget, and I totally understand. If you do have a regular blow dryer with the code attachment, what I would recommend is you do the tension method. The tension method is so important when it comes to blowing out hair because if you don't blow your hair out well, you are guaranteed going to cause breakage, and then it's completely pointless doing that stretch protective hairstyle. So to do the tension method, you can go on YouTube. I'll just show you. When your hair is wet, section by section, you hold it, you hold your blow dry, and you pretty much dry your hair in that motion whilst holding onto your hair. And while your hair is getting to about 80% dry, you can then finger the candle, and then make sure your hair continues to get maybe like 85% dry. Then you can go in with the comb attachment. But remember, you need to hold on to your hair and then comb through. Hold on to your hair, comb through. Hold on to your hair. Through. I do have YouTube videos on this, but make sure you're holding on to your hair because that's going to help prevent your hair from spiraling out of control. And then you try to comb it, and then it just kind of breaks it. So there's that. Do the tension method when you're blowing out your hair, and of course, use a heat protector. Next question, please.
Are your divine products okay to use on the wig?
Are divine products okay to use in wavy hair? Yes, our products actually work on all hair types, truly. They're not restricted to just type 4. And people who have type 3 hair also really enjoy it as well. So yeah.
Hey Janet, she's been taking a lot of vitamins, all the vitamins and still have excellence to share. How long will it take to see results from it?
Okay. So with vitamins are great. However, you need to make sure that vitamins are just supplements to your diet. You still need to make sure that you're eating a very good diet. Don't be, you know, confused and thinking, if I can eat whatever I want and then just take vitamins, I'll be okay. No, 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 no. These vitamins are ultimately synthetic at the end of the day. And the best source of nutrition that your body can actually recognize is through food. So make sure I've got if you download the ebook, the Hair Growth Guide, which is free, You're gonna get a whole list of nutrition, and I want you to kind of use that as a tick box, okay? Like, do you have enough omega-3s in your diet? Do you have enough iron? Do you have enough vitamin D? Um, all that kind of stuff. And okay, and you also want to look at other issues when it comes to healthy hair. So if you've got your good routine, diet is good, you need to also look at things like stress, things like sleep, and also chronic inflammation. Go ahead and watch. I can't remember the day. But we talked all about gut health. Gut health was yesterday, and then we also talked about alopecia. You want to catch that live. I believe it was maybe like day 4 or 5. I go into a lot of detail around how your lifestyle in general is contributing to hair loss, especially if you're someone who eats well, and you're kind of ticking all the boxes, but you're not seeing any change. So please go and see that live. And I would say for you to notice any change in your hair, you want to wait at least about 3 months. 3 months. So yeah, there we go.
I'm going to come closer because they can't hear me properly.
Okay, yes, please.
So someone says when she uses the shampoo,
Mhm.
her hair has a squeaky feeling. Is
Mhm.
that okay?
Yes, that's fine. So the growth shampoo, as I said, it does cleanse your hair, but it doesn't strip it of its natural oils. It still helps your hair to be clean because it's very important for your hair to actually be 100% clean. And because if not, your hair can have a lot of buildup, but it still maintains moisture. Okay. Yes.
Sharon, got my order yesterday. Still horribly twisted hair.
Oh, amazing. Thank you, Sharon.
Any extra tips about restoring the hair density?
Okay, so to restore your hair density, you need to tackle it from multiple points. The first point is looking at your current routine. How and which are you detangling your hair? Are you gentle? Are you rushing to use combs and ripping the hair out of your head? That's number one. If you're not sure how to detangle your hair, go and watch, I believe, day one. It's all about detangling. I gave you a live demo, all that. The next thing you want to do is make sure you're doing stretchable protective hairstyles. Okay. Oh, and I should probably go a step back. You want to make sure you've got a routine according to your porosity. So, for example, if you're low porosity hair, you want to be making sure that you do deep conditioning with a steam cap. If you're high porosity, to protein mask. So low porosity with steam, high porosity, and then protective hairstyles. And if for about 3 months you're kind of doing the routine and you're like, not really seeing an increase in density, I would definitely recommend using Follicle Pro Plus to help stimulate hair growth in general. And then you're gonna wanna look at your diet, okay? Because certain things, especially things like iron deficiency, a lack of iron in your body can eat your hair off, literally. So you wanna make sure that your diet is so go through that, as I said about nutrition, and just tick off if you have all of these things in your diet. Vitamin D, iron, biotin, um, yeah, all of those vitamins and minerals, so important. And make sure you're drinking plenty of water. And if you can, sprinkle some Celtic sea salt into your water to enable better hydration to your body. I've got a lot of questions on YouTube, so if you've run out, go to YouTube.
Oh yes, on this one. Also, did you say oils before wash?
Yes, so if you are high porosity, I recommend you do a oil treatment before you wash your hair. That means basically you can warm the oil up a little bit. Um, like a double boiler method. If you don't have time to do that, that's really perfectly fine. Just saturate your hair with oil. I love the Kinky hair oil because it has olive oil, avocado oil, sweet almond oil, and a little bit of added vitamin E. The avocado and olive oil are Himalayan oils, and they are very good because they moisturize your hair, seal it, and prevent breakage. Because they're one of the very few oils that can actually enter the hair cortex and strengthen it. We also have sweet almond oil, which is great because it's high in antioxidants, which help especially high porosity hair that is very prone to breakage. Um, yes, and it's got extra vitamin E just for that added extra. Okay, so let's go to YouTube. Sorry, my YouTube page. I'm sorry, I have not neglected you. So scroll. So someone asked if my hair is very dry and high porosity, should I still use herbal silk? That was from Nova Sales. So I would recommend you still use herbal silk less because sometimes when you are high porosity, your hair can still be very dry because basically your hair has a very hard time with actually maintaining any kind of moisture. It may let moisture in well, but then it literally gets rid of it as soon as it comes in. That's because, again, as I said, this hair cuticle that you have here is so highly raised, so it lets moisture in, but it also lets moisture out. So what this protein is going to do is going to help seal that cuticle and make it stronger. Okay, it's going to replenish the missing cuticles as well with that. So there's that. And then you also want to make sure that you are going in with your leave-in and your oil. Okay, leave-in and oil. This combo, once you try it, and as I said before, you have a 90-day money back guarantee. Like, we are so confident that we will let you wait 90 days. If you have any problem, you just think, girl, I didn't like this. And everyone's like, okay, get your money back. This is how confident we are. Most companies don't offer that kind of money back guarantee because they're thinking like, but we do. We're so confident, okay? So as I said before, these products are the cheapest price of the year. They're not gonna be this low ever until next year, right? So if you wanna wait a whole year, and that's you. But we also do have a 6-month supply kit. And truly, that kit can actually last a year. We're just being very generous. We say 6 months, but it actually lasts about a year. There's a lot of product in there. So this would be also be the perfect time to invest in your hair. If you're like, you know what, I want to start my journey right, and I want to just have enough product for like a year. Let me go ahead
Sisters,
and grab it at the cheapest price, and I know that I don't even have to think about products. Really see it. So go on our website, go under the wash kit, the 6 month supply kit, get it for 25% off. Okay, the bundle was already very discounted, but this code is crazy. Like even me, I want to buy it.
if you've got kids,
And if you've got
family,
kids, because
sisters,
a lot of and the reason we also supply in 1 liter box is because people tend to buy it for themselves, and then their kids and their friends and family literally steal it. Always get emails like that, and then they just have to come and buy more. So let me go ahead and answer YouTube. Aaliyah says, I just got my products today. So excited to try them. I'm so excited too. I hope the sound is better also on YouTube. Please let me know. Someone said, I like knee twists, but they take a long time. Yeah, they do take a long time. They are also a good protective style, but if you do not have the time, I understand because I'm someone who I've tried before. I just don't have time for it because you've got to put them in, you've got to take them out, and yeah, I'd rather outsource. Yeah, someone also said Bantu knots are perfect to stretch and gives gorgeous curls when unraveled. Yes, I love me a Bantu knot. Oh, Malia John said, I ordered product yesterday, but I mistakenly ordered herbal soap instead of deep conditioner. Please change it was yesterday. So you will need to email us at hello@mineralnatural.com. It's very hard for us to actually this right now. So please send us an email so we can make sure that we're looking after you well. Okay. Black Scuba Queen says, I've not been to a hairstylist since early 2023. They're just too rough when detangling. I will go again in 2025. I don't blame you, girl. I really don't. Whenever I'm getting my hair braided, I have to be like, do this, do that. And I feel like such a tyrant, but I'm like, I just want my edges. Sam says, thank you. You've done a wonderful job explaining step by step. Thank you. Okay, Grace says, hi, Janet. As I have low porosity hair, can easily have product buildup. How often should one shampoo? If, for example, my wash days are bi-weekly, I shampoo bi-weekly. By bi-weekly, that means every 2 weeks, right? Or is that twice in a week? Yeah,
twice a week.
twice a week. Bi-weekly. Okay, maybe it is. Am I being slow? So yes, if you are low porosity, I do recommend you shampoo every single wash day. If that's twice in a week, I would recommend no, that's probably a bit too much. You can shampoo once a week. Once a week is more than enough to make sure you do not have buildup. As I said, what I do during a wash days, I actually shampoo twice just to make sure my hair is clean and ready to accept more product. So someone said bi-weekly is every 2 weeks.
No.
Yeah, I thought it was because it's a bit of a weird one. So bi-weekly. So yeah, if you wash your hair every 2 weeks, then you can wash your hair. I do that too. I wash my hair, I shampoo twice in a single wash day every 2 weeks. Bridget says, hi Janet, do you recommend taking hair vitamins or collagen to help hair growth? I recommend you do take vitamins, but then I also don't want you to use that as an excuse for her diet, is what I'm trying to say. I want you to still eat a very nutritious diet, but then also fill in any gaps that you have through vitamins. The ones I like to take actually prenatal vitamins because they have everything that you need and more. So that way you don't have to like kind of go and search different ones. What it doesn't have is things like omega-3 fatty acids. So I recommend with that, you can go ahead and get some cod liver oil. If you go to my Instagram profile, you will see I've got like a growth food highlight on my stories, and you can go through. I've got some cod liver oil there as well. Um, Malia says, I was having low porosity, but my hair was very weak and prone to breakage. I started using strengthened mask. Now my hair feels so strengthened. Should I still continue using the strengthened mask or deep condition? So, if you are low porosity, what you're going to want to do is alternate between the two. Because low porosity hair, you can become protein sensitive. This is why I suggest that you alternate between the two. So, low porosity, you want to use the deep conditioning mask more often than this. So you kind of use this about every 2-ish months, but this should be used every single wash day. So if you're washing your hair every 2 weeks, use this every 2 weeks. And then if you're someone who, you don't really need the strength that often, you do it every 2 months. If you're someone who heat styles or you manipulate your hair a lot, then you're gonna want to need more strength. So it kind of depends on your routine in general, but you kind of go by how your hair feels and how much you've been manipulating it. So low porosity, this is what you need to use more of, but you use this from time to time. Black Scuba says, I've not learned how to use my rubber. So what you're gonna want to do is go on my YouTube channel. I've got so many videos on how I use it. I use it on speed 7, heat 1, just to kind of get my hair dry. My finger detangle, comb through, then do speed 7, heat 2, and that gets my hair super stretched. And then I apply my kink hair oil at the end of blow drying my hair. Andy asked, how do you find out the porosity of your hair and how do you find out what products to use? Okay. I mean, I'm gonna get in trouble if I try to answer that because we have people on TikTok. Okay, so go and get the masterclass. It's the price of less than 1 meal going out to eat.
Yeah, watch your lives.
Or watch our lives, then it's free, right? Yeah, watch us on YouTube.
Someone is asking, what brand of coconut water do you drink?
Should I go and get it? Am I allowed? Okay. So the brand of coconut is that on Instagram? Yeah, it's called Rebel Kitchen. It's organic and it's raw. So it's pink and it's basically preserved in its most natural element. It is expensive, I won't lie to you. So if you don't have the budget for it, you can go away with drinking it every now and again. But I love it.
More questions about shampoo. Does the shampoo clarify? Is there another clarifying step you recommend?
No.
Someone is asking, how much is the shampoo?
Okay, the shampoo is a moisturizing shampoo, but I'm someone who's low porosity and I've not found any issues with using this without clarifying. Because I think with this kind of shampoo, you can use it multiple times and it can create more of a clarifying effect, if that makes sense. But it's naturally moisturizing. Yeah, we don't have a clarifying shampoo yet. Continue to pray for us and support us, and by God's grace, we have one. But it still can be used in a perfect routine. I don't think clarifying is necessary because it's something that you do every so often, not all the time. But this is a very good day-to-day shampoo. How much is the shampoo? Please go on our website. It depends on the size. We have 2 different ones. We've got one more geared towards alopecia, and we have one more geared towards everyday wear. Please.
Questions about the hairline. Someone says their hairline is very bad. How can they grow it back? And someone else is asking that the hairline is snapping like crazy. What should they do with this?
Okay. So the immediate product recommendations I can give you it does tackle a whole range of different issues people can have with receding hairline, whether that's excess DHT. So it contains things like amla, rosemary oil, which are very good at blocking excess DHT. I want you to also look at your diet and I want you to look at your lifestyle. And I'm going to get you to go watch the live all about alopecia. Okay, we have a playlist on YouTube and on Instagram. Go ahead and watch the live on
Check the
alopecia.
emails as well. We have a recap.
Yes.
Of
Check if you sign up to the Revolution, then you will also receive the recaps of all the topics we're covering. We've got links, everything. Leah says, "Can I oil my edges every day?" Yes, you can. So I've got another question on product. Sam's asked, when you deep condition with the Moisture Miracle and Heat Cap, then after that, deep in with the Moisture Miracle and King Care. Do you rinse it after you deep clean and then moisture again? Yes. So The step is to once you're deep conditioned, you rinse. And once you've rinsed, then apply leave-in and oil. Okay. Yes. We've got some on TikTok, I think. Do we have any on TikTok?
I just
Okay, I
want to
think it
say
says it's
thank you.
answered.
You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
Next,
Okay.
next the chicken.
So what we are going to do actually is probably wrap this up because for the next 3-ish days, I think we're going to turn it into a more Q&A group. I'm going to be at your mercy. You guys can ask me as many questions. I'm not even going to talk. That way, you guys can get the best out of me. So I'm just going to get your disposal because we've noticed we get a lot of questions. So we want to give dedicated time at the end of this challenge just for Q&A. So you guys can come, ask me questions, 45 minutes, however long. One more product question.
What's the name of the shampoo?
The shampoo is Root Revive. So if you have alopecia, Root Revive Pro Plus. If you don't have alopecia, Root Revive. I'll just leave it here. I'm trying to make sure it's visible on all cameras. Question, for low porosity, should I buy the deep conditioner or leave-in? Both. They serve different purposes. The deep conditioner is a lot more deeply moisturizing. So it penetrates the hair shaft better, especially if you have. The leave-in is more so to moisturize your hair post wash day with that oil. Which one to buy first? If you're gonna buy first, then I would recommend probably doing the leave-in and oil combo. This combo, once you fall in love with that, you're gonna run back to the leave-in. So I'll say this, leave-in and oil. So with that, I'm gonna have to wrap it up, guys. And I hope that there's so much stuff on the website. Because every time we do this live, the website just blows up. It blows up. And I'm so grateful for you guys. But I'm also very stressed. But thank you guys so much for the love. Again, we do these lives because we are so passionate. If you haven't noticed already, if you don't know anything about me, I'm actually a mother of two, and I also, of course, work at a Miniround. And I've literally sacrificed 10 of my evenings, in fact, 11 of my evenings back to back, just to help you guys because we are so passionate about empowering you to have the knowledge to actually grow healthy health. We don't want to just offer you product. We actually want to connect with you. We want you to learn and to understand your hair for yourself. We as a community, Black females, Black males, our hair has been very misunderstood for how many years, right? So we're trying to have this revolution in which Black females, Black males get to a point where we actually understand our hair for ourselves and then we can pass it on to the next generation. This should be the end of people not knowing about their hair. We want this generation to be the last generation in which people just have no clue and are just not sure what to do. So we're just so passionate. We really want to make sure that you guys understand your hair for yourself. If you haven't already, go to mineralnaturals.com, sign up for the Hair Growth Revolution. Okay. And you're going to get updates about everything that we're doing. And yeah. So anything else I need to speak about?
Yeah, new ratings been asking about the Tangle Slayer.
Okay, someone's been asking
Help
about
me on Unity Usante.
Tangle Slayer.
Yeah, Tangle Slayer.
And if you want any specific help, or send us an email, hello@mineralnaturals.com. We're also going to be doing live Q&As tomorrow. So I'm going to see you here same time tomorrow, 8 p.m. GMT, 3 p.m. EST, and 12 p.m. PST, okay? So if you have any more questions, save them for tomorrow. We're going to do 45 minutes of back-to-back Q&A. And that's what we're here for. We want you to be inspired. We want you to be encouraged, to have the knowledge to look after your hair for your health, for yourself, and yeah, pass that on to the next generation. So thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, God bless you guys. We love you here. And we see you as family. So thank you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.